Hello. Okay, so back on this. I'm gonna finish my playtest for the Battle of Arnhem with the map I've got. Here we are. And we're going in. It's turn 23, which we're playing roughly 7 days a turn. So this would be 17th, 18th, 19th. It's the morning of the 20th. One turn would represent night. And and it's the Germans go. And I think, or have they just been? Maybe they've just been. Oh, no, it's the Germans go. And I think it's about to all be over for the British at the bridge. Look him up a little bit. This guy needs to reload before he does that. There we go. I'm going to have him shell them. Ooh. Now down. We failed to take this one out. Oh. Yeah, we did fail to take that one out. They've attacked already, so I might actually move them down here. Ooh. A lot of battered formations here, heavily involved in the fighting. Resistance at the bridge is still hanging on. I thought the Germans would capture it this turn, but apparently not. Right. I think all the German units are on the board now. Oh, there's these two still to come. Yeah. Yeah, definitely need to increase the range of artillery somehow for this game, but I'm not sure how we do that. It would be good to do it though. All right. Okay, well, I think we can probably start doing some attacks here. Oh, maybe not. Let's move him back. Let's get him closer. Now, these are all out of fuel, aren't they, until this supply line is established. Yeah. So, that's something. Let's look at this. Nuts, isn't it? This strange British perimeter. So this is where the Germans need to really hit the British. So what we need to do is certainly get on. This guy's badly injured. Yeah, everyone's going up here, so we're pulling away from this front. Getting these in range. There's a pretty major assault coming this way. Look at all this coming in. Actually, I'm going to do some refuels on these. I think one more turn. So I think we do some repairs here, because these have all been involved in heavy fighting. Oh, it's not too much to do. Maybe some refueling and so forth. I think that's it. Yep. This one. Oh yeah. These guys are chasing that guy, aren't they? There he is. Last of the landing zones fall to the Germans. Hey, got some comments here. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Yeah, good to see you, mate. I'm all right. What are you up to? Let me know if you want to pop on. So Dan, I designed this map myself in the scenario creator. I've done a newer version of it already, but it's looking pretty good. Yeah, so now we're cooking on gas, so to speak. Oh, dear me, excuse me. Oh. Someone else is there now. So yeah, this is all that's left. There were 10 units holding the bridge, which were Frost's guys. This is all that's left now. This one guy, sadly. So that's the end of the German turn. British turn. There's no British reinforcements to come in. There are some Polish. And what he can do is he can't heal because he's cut off now. So he can't do anything actually. So that's that. Now, so the only bridge we're going to be holding is this one. So I think we have to fall back and sort of into a perimeter here, I think. But that's going to be harder to defend because it's open country. This also needs to be a victory location, which I've got to change. Well, let me see. I think all the reinforcements are on the board, aren't they? Yeah. The last lot that came in landed on the landing zone as the Germans were overrunning it, and they were all killed. Yeah, so this is basically the Battle of Arnhem. Covers everything, all the areas that the British fought in. And as you can see, we actually captured the rail bridge, which the Germans detonated in the real thing. We did get guys through to the bridge on the first day, but they all got cut off and gradually got killed. We're on the morning of the fourth day now. Ignore the dates because this game normally plays one turn per day, but the movement rates are not what the units would have because it's normally games on a bigger scale than this. So I had to start the game earlier in August because it's 7 turns per day, give or take. You're tweaking your D-Day Blood of Steel. So I'm planning on doing a company level D-Day map, actually, mate. I'm probably going to do the British sectors first, and then I'll probably do Omaha, and finally Utah. I might do like a mega, but yeah, kind of company level. So what scale is your D-Day map down to? Let me know. Right, okay, so British people. So there's no more reinforcements coming in, so we technically don't need to hang on to Wolf Haze anymore. And these guys are about to all get cut off, so I think we should try and, well, we should try and pull everybody back into a relatively safer situation. So what we're going to do is, this guy's badly injured as well, so I'm going to bring him into the fold, so to speak. Damn, we really need to. Can't do a lot to that Tiger 2, can we? If we could kick this guy out. Yeah, let's try and do that. Nice. And now, actually, what I'll do is. Ah, bollocks. It didn't work. That's annoying. Right, that worked. Okay. Let's bring this. Can we bring this down? Yep. All right. Still not letting us because of this. Damn it. Oh, that's definitely worth doing. Tell you what, let's do this. Right. I don't have ammo. It's better. Oh, look at that. Strengthen him. All right. Okay. So that's everyone there. Yeah, I feel like we want to leave that as it is for the moment. I know we're going to be getting hit from here pretty soon. So what do we do, though? What do we do? Not really much we can do, is there? That's about it. Polish turn. So the Polish player has 2 units in the game, but they can't be deployed at the present time. So that's the end of that. It's now the German player, and I think the last German units will be available. 2 Panthers. They have to arrive at edge of board, and they're SS, so they've got to arrive either from the north or the east. Well, I guess up here then. I might bring them down this road though. All right. Just going to keep refueling. I forgot about that British guy. I forgot to move him actually. Right, that's a bit more encouraging. Yeah, I've abandoned Wolf Haze now, so okay. Tons of artillery about to arrive here. We've got a fair bit anyway. Right. I showed him. This guy is badly injured, so we're going to pull him back. Our Tiger here took a bit of a battering on the landing zone, so I'm going to keep him. This is a lot of artillery. So once the Germans link up this area, these ones will be resupplied. These are all out of supply at the moment. Oh no, it looks like they're in supply now. Yeah. Guess the connection had been. Oh, it's because we captured that landing zone. That's why, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so problem averted. I think the attack on this flank can begin in earnest then. Let's get going. Starting to overrun the enemy. Suddenly putting on the pressure now. Yeah, I think that's everything by the Osterbeek landing zone. Let's bring this guy down. Do a refuel with him as well. Always do that. They guzzle up petrol, those tanks, let me tell you. The last guy at the bridge. This is so sad. There, he's gone. Arnhem Bridge has fallen. Frost's men are finally surrender. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take out that artillery first. Oh, but unfortunately got ambushed. Someone's bing-bonging me. Did I get an email or something? That's all good. Yeah, take out the artillery. Who's that? Is that Gary Bolter? This guy. What the hell? Oh, that's not very good odds, is it? Shouldn't have done that. Right, piling on the pressure here. Everyone's available from the bridge now. A lot of these units are damaged from the bridge fighting at the bridge, but no time to do repairs. We just have to try and overwhelm with numbers. So that one must have been the one that attacked. Yeah, it was. Okay. Now I am going to leave some men at the bridge. I'm going to leave this one. Look at that, crossing over to the south. It's nearly over. No, these are not going to attack yet. Is anyone injured? No. Okay. I think that's it for the Germans. Yes, it is. What's Gary saying? Okay. Right. No, it wasn't stuck. I just put it up. Oh yeah. Your big unhistorical D-Day. Well, I did a 4-hour-long call earlier today, Dan, with another guy who we've created the Polish paratrooper unit. Hey Darth, and also created. We did a couple of other tweaks. He showed me a couple of other things. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this up, and then I'm probably gonna just go back into the games design thing. But if you wanted to pop on, you could. So that's the end of the German turn, and I've already done all the units now. So basically, all the units are on the board apart from the Polish, who could have come on by now. Well, I did originally say after turn 30, but it would be actually after turn 21. But I'd accidentally deleted 2 of their units, which was a bit crap. Right, so these guys are trying to get back into the perimeter. So let's see if we can achieve that. And let's move this down one. Let's give this guy ammo. I'm going to move this guy to here. Blow that one up. Oh, look at that. That was a good result. Oh. Unlucky for you. Haha. This one's... I'm just trying to create a wider gap for these guys to escape, basically, which has been a problem. So I don't think any of these can get any further in. No. I've got this one unit up here, still trying to get home, fighting a running battle. Now we're now being attacked over this side. What can we do? So we've got to try and save this artillery unit, but we actually do need to use him. Yeah, but that said, I might just have to do without him this turn. He's going to get killed if he stays there. I'm going to bring this guy down. Nice. Right, these guys are probably going to get overrun here. So the question is, I think I need to pull these guys back. 2 of them at least, anyway. To come and assist with these. There's a lot of guys that are nicely dug in here, so now. Again, lots of people. What to do? Hey, Nightmare, how's it going? I think you might be one of the people from Discord for Hex of Steel, right? Let me know. Yeah, I mean, this is towards the end of the game. Germany overwhelmed the guys at Arnhem Bridge. It's gone quite historically, actually, so far. I have been tweaking it. I did early on. I did tweak it as I went. Yeah, I think we're better off just kind of trying to survive here rather than attacking. How's this guy? He's doing all right for ammo. Let's rebuild him. Might as well give this guy ammo while I can. Same. All right. That's the British done. It's the Polish. They're still not ready to come on the board yet. Now we're at the Germans. All the German units are now on the board, so I'm going to start off by moving in the ones that are still traveling. So I've got special rules for this game, although obviously I'm going to try and on the new map, which I'm halfway through completing, I'm going to try and facilitate those rules into the fabric of the map as much as I can. But the SS can only come in from the north and the east, the SS units. The regular army can only come in from the northwest and west in terms of where they're placed. All units for the first 10 turns have to come in on the edge of the board. Vehicles always have to come in on the edge of the board, except for infantry after turn 10s. They can spawn at town locations outside of Arnhem, but not in Arnhem itself. I've written all these kind of little extra rules in the prefix of the game. Obviously, if you're playing against AI, that's why I'm trying to tweak it so that, because obviously the AI will start doing all kinds of naughty shit. I have changed all the locations where people can spawn units, that kind of thing. So that has changed already. Some serious damage there. Oh, another one's gone. It's really the British are starting to feel the pinch now. Gary saying, "Oh, we auditioning, okay." Right, so yeah, we want to kind of close off this and link everybody together, don't we? Oh, originally I was trying to force them away from the river, but that I had to change strategy. But these guys can do that. So so it's the furthest one away you can reach. Ooh, the tank can get there. Let's do that. We just got word from the Dutch in Arnhem. It's not going very well for the British. Their main force never reached the bridge. And those that did were hanging on by their fingernails. They've gone now. And General Urquhart, they've trapped his men against the river in a pocket and they're squeezing it smaller and smaller. How long can he hold? Where are those goddamn boats? A lot of these units are really damaged from fighting in the city of Arnhem, where they took major damage retaking the bridge. I think there's these guys still coming in, aren't there? And there's our commander, so I guess we can Fed Marshal Modal can move a bit closer. I think it's just those two tanks at the top. That's it, isn't it? Everything else is on the board. So, right, well, no, I'm not going to attack with the guys across the bridge yet until these counters can be attacked from both sides. So. Oh, look at that. These anti-aircraft, by the way, they're deadly in a ground role against infantry. Absolutely deadly. Probably a bit too powerful, if I'm honest. Oh, that German has walked rather foul. Oh, he's not going to attack, but right. So that's Germany done, I think. Just double checking. Oh, hang on. These guys. Don't think I did these guys, did I? No. Okay, there goes another one. There goes another one. Oh, well, that was the end of that. Damn, that's not so good. Try and help this guy out a bit. Well, that one got really badly injured, so he has to hang back. Right. Did I move these? Yes. Okay. British turn. Gonna check the chat, just see what's occurring. Okay, Dan, I'm glad this is gripping entertainment. I'll try and keep my narration entertaining. All right, so there, the British perimeter is well and truly breached now. Big perimeter, much bigger than the real one, which was really just kind of thumb-shaped here. I'm trying to actually make it smaller. So for the British move, what we want to do is bring everybody in a bit. Another German. Bring this one in. Bring this one into here. Don't like that guy being stuck out there on his own, so I'm going to bring him in. These tanks are a little bit. Oh, haven't got any bloody ammunition. These tanks are rather expendable at this stage, really. But it's out of fuel as well. I'm going to do what I was going to do with that one. Oh, hey, look at that. I'm going to bring him right into there. Why not? So we're gradually collapsing the bag, as General Urquhart would say. Not everyone's going to make it, though. I don't think. This guy's out of ammo. Hang on, let's do a reload and then move him. Should always check that, really. Oh, look at that. We took out the Tiger too. Not bad, not bad. There we go. Took out another one. Yeah, I think bring these in as well. I'm going to need some anti-tank up here for sure. Right. Now, what can we do to help the guys out the bridge? Because that we really want to hang on to this ideally, but it's difficult because this terrain is all open here. So it's yeah, mate. No, I don't want auto supply on. Yeah, mate. I'll drop you the link. Here you go. I'm just about to wrap up this game because I think it'll be over soon. But we can go and look at some of the details of the starting game. Right, so this guy, just a rebuild on him. This guy, that might be worth doing. I don't know. Ooh, no. Right, but these ones are going to fire on this guy for sure. Oh, he's look at that. He retreated. What a wimp. Okay. That's has to be said. That's took him out. They're not invincible. They're not invincible, the Germans, are they? Right. Polish turn. So I think. Oh, hang on a minute. I didn't move my guy. That's kind of stuck out here somewhere. Trying to get home. He's not going to make it. Hey Dan, how's it going?
Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. I've got to grips with a lot more of the design elements. So when I've kind of finished this, because I figured I might as well, because I'm near the end of it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump back on that and continue.
I was going to say the
Affecting.
British pretty much got demolished.
Yeah, but they did pretty well though, because we held the bridge. I can't remember when resistance ended at the bridge. I think it was the 20th of September, maybe the 21st.
Yeah.
And I've worked out it's about 7 turns per day now that I've got my head around this scale a little bit. So British resistance ended at the bridge on turn 25. So yeah, so the morning of the 4th day, basically. So they did hold out quite a while, and there were 10 units there. Slightly more units made it there than maybe two.
I was going to say that Armagh literally decimated the stopped the British from pushing.
Well, how they
Looked like anyway.
How they got them out in reality at Arnhem Bridge was they actually started pouring cans of petrol into the buildings and setting the buildings on fire, because the British were like even holding out in the basements and firing up the stairs and everything. They're like, and pretty much every man, when they finally surrendered, like every man was wounded. So it was quite the valiant stand. You know what? Let's give this guy a kick. When I play myself, I'm really vicious. I'm really vicious, like both ways.
There's a few there's some unit rules that you might not know. For example, if you got anti-tank, and if it's behind a unit or adjacent to a unit in a tank,
it fires in its defense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I've seen that happen.
I think it's the same as artillery and anti-air. So if like a plane try to attack a Tiger tank and there's a 88mm flak cannon or any AA adjacent to it,
it will defend it. I experienced that in D-Day quite a lot.
Yeah,
to say the least. Yeah,
and there's because what it used to be was the stronger anti-air, so like the 88mm. That used to have 2 range. A couple of months ago.
Have they reduced that range now then?
They've reduced all anti-air to 1. The reason being is because anti-air was in a very, very crazy state. Being able to attack 2 tiles give you like defense range on nearly all your army with fewer amount of anti-air. But now it's got to the case where you need to buy anti-air to keep, if they've got air superiority, anti-air starts to become something that you need to start buying.
Right.
Especially when in normal in normal Hex of Steel games, you can buy level bombers to cripple the economy. Because you can use it on cities to destroy cities and anything that produces income to cripple the income, which gets you ahead, which is another reason why anti-air kind of was strong back then. Because if you've got like a city where you have like Arnhem, where it's a multi-city, or like Stalingrad, for example, anti-air became really, really strong if you had like 88mm around and everything. So they've reduced everything to 1 range, because it got a little bit pretty nuts.
Yeah, that does sound a wee bit silly.
Yeah.
Well, I think the British are about to lose the railway bridge, unfortunately for them.
Because that's the thing with armor, is if you can keep armor on plain tiles, that can be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, this is the problem with this railway bridge. Is it was the land around it was pretty indefensible. It wasn't very good. Because it was all like open. It was open and boggy and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's the problem with what they should have done is they should have dropped the entire division in this area here, and just taken the chance that because they were worried that the ground was too soft for glider landings, but that's bollocks. You want soft because it just like pulls up the thing, and they were worried it was going to go arse over tit, and it's a load of nonsense. Oh dear, British are going down in droves now. Man. So they've lost the only bridge they had. Yeah, I spoke to this German guy I spoke to today. I think he didn't have quite as many hours as you, but he had 3,000 hours on the game or something he'd played.
What was his name? Do you know? Like his username kind of thing.
It was similar to his German name, which was Yogor or Igor or something like that.
Igor.
It's not Igor, but it's hang on a minute.
I think I've seen him in.
His name was Luau. Laoul. Yeah, I can't remember how he said he found me, but I think he said he's not on Discord.
Oh,
I might have misunderstood him because he did have a very thick accent. So
yeah, because the main crew is basically like you got Val, you got me, Napoleon Bonaparte. Yes, that's his name. And you got Chris that made the massive, the huge Napoleon mod.
Right. Yeah. Looking for. I want to get. Can I? And that's a mod I can get and I can install on my computer, right?
Yeah.
And that's available for me now.
I think it is. It's on, Steam. I know it's on Steam, and you download it through Steam. I don't know how it works on Mac, but I'm pretty sure it would just work the same way.
Oh, it'll be the same, I'm sure.
But there's well, the problem with mobile is because you don't have the RAM to do it. It's kind of you can't have what's it called, like conversion mods, like Napoleon in World War III or something like that, or Modern Warfare. But there's two mods that I do use, and there's one called Visible Airfields. So on an airfield, you've got like the dashed line on it, and if you've got a unit, you can't see the dashed line underneath. So what it does is it puts it on the outside of the hex, which makes it visible to see. And the other one is trenches, where it puts trenches on the outside of you see like your trenches. It's like nearly close to the middle.
I hate the fact that when you put a trench down, it eliminates the terrain that was there previously.
Yeah.
That's really annoying. That shouldn't happen. It should go around the terrain. Have they changed that then? Are you telling me?
No, it's what the visible trenches does is it just puts it on the outside so you can see it when the unit's on top. Because what you can do is you can change the size of the unit card to be smaller or bigger.
Right.
But I've just put it a little bit smaller so I can see what's behind it rather than looking in the top left for like thin forest and plains or whatever. Okay. Makes it a little bit easier. But them two mods I would highly recommend because it's just quality of life, to be honest. Just makes things easier.
Well, when I've done this, we can have a look and see if I can grab those. Where are you? You're up north somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah, Newcastle.
So how come you're up at 2:35 in the morning?
I fell asleep during the day. For some reason, I ended up watching Benidorm. God knows why.
Yeah, mate, you might need counselling now. I suffer from insomnia and also PTSD, so I wake up screaming quite a lot. So going to bed, I prefer to go to bed when I'm really tired, and then I will fall straight to sleep, as opposed to not falling straight to sleep, which means I will have nightmares. So it's preferable.
See, I'm currently unemployed at the moment, so I've got to like.
Oh, well, that's right.
I could do whatever I want with my times, but as soon as they go, but then I need to change my time clock when I get back into work.
What was your usual profession?
I've done a little bit of everything. Like when I was 8, I'm 31 now, but when I was 18, I worked in a couple of bars, worked in bars, social clubs, and then I went from that to call center work and then I worked in Marks and Spencer's, the one bang in the middle of Newcastle,
Right.
on Northumberland Street, and then worked there for the majority, and then I worked at Santander, and then recently it's like warehousing.
Did
like,
you work on Santander customer services on the
yes,
on the phone?
I
Do you
worked
know
on
what?
collections.
Do you know what? I swear you picked up a call when I called one time. I swear it was
Sure.
you. Yeah. And that was in the call center in Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Would this have been about somewhere between 2 and 4 years ago? Would that
It'd
be
be
right?
longer than that. It'd be like 6 or 7.
It could. Do you know what? I mean, I'm thinking it was before the pandemic. So how many years is that?
Yeah, it would be before the pandemic. 2 years before the pandemic, or a year and a half.
Like 2018, 2019, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Do you know what? Because I would always end up talking with them because I'd always be as polite as I could, and then people would go out of their way to help me then, instead of like phoning up and being all grumpy cunt, you know. So
there was one time there was someone, I was like, "Hi Dan, no, hello, it's Dan at Collections. How can I help you?" And no, it was like, what was it called? It was Outbound. So I went, "Hi, it's Dan at Santander Collections. We've got some personal business to discuss." And so I had this person on my workload every single time. I got a warning for this, but what it was he kept going, went, "Oh, I'm just going to pop into the shops to buy a kettle," and then hung up. So then eventually, after like the 12th time of getting him, I went, "Are you going into the shop to buy a kettle?" He went, "How do you know?" I got a verbal warning. I was like, "Well."
But did you work for Collections or did you work on customer service?
Collections.
No, this is a customer service call.
There was one time I had a footballer. His account was like 237 grand in debt because his son, he paid for his son's, his tuition fee.
Right.
Like for something. It was like 20. It was like loads in debt, and he bought a plane or something. I can't remember what it was.
Bought a plane.
It was and you know what he said? He went, "Oh, just take it off this card." I went, "What do you mean, take it off this card?" I went, "Oh, just pay the whole lot." I went, "Fucking 137 grand." I was like, "What?"
Wow.
I was like, "That is the biggest purchase I've done on behalf of someone else." I was like, "What on earth is that?"
That's people who don't have a perception of what money means, really. It's like you get a bit of money and you sort of lose all concept of reality, you know. It's
pretty sure it was something like 168 grand. And he went, "Just pay it off." I went, "Can I put you on hold?" I go to the advisor. I went, "He wants to pay off 168 grand off his Santander account." I went, "Oh yeah, that's fine."
Ideally, you want them to pay it, don't you? So
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he was racking up there, and he was like, "I don't care." When you know that money, he was like, "That's as much money as I make in a month playing football." I was like, "Oh god." Can't remember the footballer's name.
What games did you used to play before this one?
Well, I originally started with it was like the Game Boy and PlayStation. So it was like Final Fantasy, but then I played everything else on like Resident Evils and Tomb Raiders. And then when the first Xbox came out, I moved to like more of first person shooters like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
I loved the original Call of Duty with the Xbox, the original 360 where you were storming up the beach.
But that's where like my Panzer General came from, was because I played that religiously on
the
PlayStation.
PlayStation, yeah.
So I played it before school, went to school, came back, played it after school, go to sleep, do my homework, and then literally rinse repeat. That's all it ever was, which is why I got really into this.
I think I used to play it when I lived in Nottingham, but I can't really remember much about that period.
Yeah.
So, because I had a nasty bump on the head. And I lost I lost like several years of my memory. So I've got one play that I directed in my portfolio that I can't even remember directing.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Oh god.
It's all right, man. It was a long time ago. Don't worry about it. But it was just one of them. It's just like it's quite weird that I'd sort of meet people. Like, yeah, hi, how are you? And I'd be like, yeah, good. Afterwards, like, who was that? Don't know who that person was. So that would happen a few times. Fortunately,
Never met you before. Who are you? Don't ask me.
yeah, but well, these Germans here, these Germans have all been fighting in the city. They're all the ones that were responsible for killing Frost and his men at the bridge. And you've seen the movie A Bridge Too Far, right?
Oh yeah, years ago, but I've definitely watched it.
Mate, you want to watch it? You want to watch it again because it's on YouTube. But what I did was I did a special edit of it where I edited. I think I might have told you this before. Where I edited all the scenes from Band of Brothers into the movie, and I decided to screen it on my YouTube channel. It wasn't monetized or anything. It got blocked in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So
See,
the days.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Because what I've on YouTube, I've watched every documentary to do with World War II. I'm just fascinated with how,
the best
nuts the time was back then. Really,
the best overview of World War II you can ever watch is the series World at War. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've watched the one where it's in color as well.
Yeah, World at War's got bits in color and bits in black and white, but it's narrated by Laurence Olivier. But it's also got loads of testimony from people that were still alive when it was made, who were there. So it's always going to be the best one,
Yeah, the one I did like was, it was the same person, wasn't it? Was it Tom Hanks produced it, didn't he? Band of Brothers.
Yeah, he produced it with Steven Spielberg.
On the Pacific. No,
I
love that. I like that better than Band of Brothers, but Band of Brothers is very.
I mean,
close.
The Pacific is a show that gets better each time you watch it. The first time you watch it, it's really hard to follow it.
Yeah,
because there are too many characters. You don't stay with one unit, like with BOB.
Yeah, because it's like 4 different. You got the people in Australia. You got the ones. Guadalcanal, and then you got the what's it, Peleliu Airport?
I mean it follows. I think it follows characters from 3 different divisions.
Aye.
But it is a very good show though. I do like.
It's just mental, like in the jungle, and the Japanese are just keep throwing bodies, and then they make a mountain pile on top of the barbed wire. It's just like Jesus Christ. But that's what actually happened. It's just like totally different compared to the Western Front, where things were more civil, should I say?
Well, they were civil they were mostly civil on the Western Front. On the Russian front, they were barbaric.
Yeah,
because the Germans saw the Russian soldiers as lesser people.
The more east you go on World War II, the more barbaric the fighting became.
Yeah, I mean, I could recommend a few movies to watch that covers that topic pretty extensively.
There was in Whitley Bay in Newcastle. There's an ice cream van, and I started talking to the person, and he's Italian, and his what was it? His father fought on the Italian side on what's that massive thing that ended up bombing the church on the top of the hill?
Oh, you're talking about a casino.
Monte Casino.
Casino. Yeah. There's a new movie coming out about that, by the way.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, it's
his father was on, his father fought on that, and he got PTSD because of one of the bombs that hit Monte Casino.
Yeah,
it hit literally right close to him and killed 2 of his mates. And he was after that he was just, that was it. He was out of action, not because he couldn't fight, but because he just PTSD, disbelief. He was just like, what on earth's going on?
Mate, I know all about PTSD, believe me. So never thought I would, but.
And I was like, so you're the grand. What was it? You're the grand. Would it be grandson? Yeah, you're the grandson or great grandson, and you're in an ice cream van, living life happily. Whereas
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a.
Yeah, I was just like, geez, what a story.
Strange reality. Right. Well, it's not looking too good for the British at the moment.
Yeah.
See how long they can hold out. That's
Oh, that was it. When they surrendered, was it American or British? I can't remember what he said. But one of the Allied soldiers gave him 2 fags and a bottle of whiskey.
yeah.
Says, you know what, we're done at Monte Casino. We shouldn't have done that. Like, that's what one of the British soldiers said. He's like, we shouldn't have done what we've done there because it was just uncalled for, but we needed to do it to get past it.
Right.
Get past an obstacle. It was just like, well, yeah, got to do what you got to do to win the war. America knows that better than anyone.
Well, indeed. I mean, they've had their fair share of. I mean, they're gonna have a new president soon, and that president is gonna be President Trump. And that's just the way it's gonna be. After that, after him surviving that assassination attempt, there's no way he's not going to get voted in now. What was that kid doing, man? He's like a 20-year-old kid.
20-year-old Republican. Oh, what was this? I'm not reading the whole lot.
Was he a Republican? He wasn't a Republican.
No, he was a Republican, but he had he was bullied at school. He was always on his own on a table.
Right. Okay.
You know, he was all troubled from the start. It's kind of like, yeah. It's like...
Right. Yeah, that's not so good, is it? In there to defend those.
And he ended up working in a, what do you call it, like a fast food chain or something. He was just saying, right, he probably was going, you know what, they couldn't be snapped. I might as well do something about it, and totally just didn't work for him, did it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm amazed that he got as far as he did, you know, especially as people were like pointing him out to the police and going, look, there's a guy up there with a rifle, you know, and they were all like faffing about.
The special service snipers got him within 30 seconds, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the reaction once it happened was they were on.
There he is, bang, sword. I'm just like, what? I was like, if this was like 50 years ago, you know.
Well, it wasn't exactly like the shot came from a collection of buildings 1,000 yards away. You know, he was building like
150 meters.
Yeah, it was really close, wasn't it? You know, it was, I mean, it's just amazing that Trump was really lucky, man. He was, you know,
he did get an earful though.
he did get an earful. Now, of course, it's all going to be like divine wisdom of God and so on.
Yeah,
all of that.
Even Biden was like, yeah, there's no reason to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But he's doing that to keep the votes, because if he just went, oh, he nearly died, good. You know, I think the Biden wouldn't. But everyone wants him to leave now, though, didn't they? They want him to retire. He's just too old now.
Well, he's not compos mentis half the time, is he? He is too old. I'm amazed that they, you know, okay, he got in the first time, but like let someone else come in. And
someone was talking about the immigration to him, and the whole story ended up talking about teddy bears. I'm like, what? I'm just like, you're talking about, you know, getting into the Oval Office again, and all you're doing is literally talking about teddy bears. I'm like,
yeah, I've seen some very strange interviews with him, and you know, what can you say?
So what are you going to do about global warming? Well, I like to go on holiday to Florida. I'm like, what's that got to do with global warming? I'm just like, oh dear God. I'm just like, get him out.
Right, look at that. Now that I lost Wolf Haze, which was this, there's nowhere the Polish can actually arrive on the board. That's one of the things I've got to change so that this location, they can actually be dropped here. The other reason that I can't put them on the board is because in this game I don't have Polish paratroopers; they're infantry. Yeah. So they're redundant now. So I might as well just skip through that. But I created the Polish paratrooper unit today. So
are you going to put them as? What you could do is put them as reserve, so the player can choose when to drop them.
Yeah, no,
after a certain amount of turns.
Well, once any paratrooper forces come on the board, I've created. There's 2 airports on the map that represent the UK. There's one here,
Yeah.
and on the new map, there's one here, which is surrounded by sea,
Gotcha.
so it can't be accessed.
Yeah.
And that enables people to fly to the relevant drop zones at the relevant times in the relevant aircraft. So
Yeah.
I think this turn is going to be quite bad for the British.
Yeah.
The amount of
they're totally surrounded. They can't get out.
the amount of artillery there are is.
I mean,
quite...
they could break out to the southwest where Dorworth is because it's mainly just artillery.
Yeah, that's gamey. That's not the mission of the what they actually have to do now is hold this section here. I have to make in the new map. I have to make these 2 victory hexes because what will happen is when the British Army arrived, what they did is they came up this road here. They linked up with the Polish who were at Driel, and they evacuated them across the ferry here, and that's how 3,000 guys got out.
You could turn the ferry to the light harbour, you know.
Yeah, I've actually, Light Harbour. That I could do that, couldn't I?
So you could make it. So you can make it so they can evacuate eventually if you could keep the front line.
Yeah, what I was thinking about doing was making this a narrow river hex, and that will give me, that will give me and then because they'd need engineers to evacuate them anyway. So you put the engineers there. I'm also given the Germans there was a pontoon bridge around here. So I've placed that on the new map as well. Right, let's see if I can overwhelm the British here. Oh dear. Getting ambushed left and right. Let's bring this Tiger tank in. There we go. Do some damage. They haven't got so much artillery this side. That's the problem.
Yeah. See, I played. What was it? I played as France on Europe 39, and as soon as you get like, it's a mission where you need to push as much as possible before they get their tech in, because once they start researching their strong tanks, it can become a very problematic thing. Because the only thing you can do is start just build, what's it called, the Shaw B1, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely just spam them, and you still get wrecked if they get the Tigers in. And I'm just like, But I play on a very, very hard difficulty. So I give the AI 300% extra.
Really?
Income? Oh yeah.
My God.
300% extra income. But what they do as well is with every step on the difficulty, the AI sort of changes. So what the AI starts to do is they start to veteranize the units. They start to winterize them as soon as it becomes like before winter and all that.
Right.
And they start building like as soon as the Tigers research, they'll build nothing but Tigers and all the strong stuff instead of Panzer 1s and 2s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like on normal, it's kind of like keeps everything sane, should I say?
Yeah.
And it gets very problematic. But I'll change mine to 130 income and give the enemies 200%. That's what my normal game is, because I found out the sweet spot for normal games is 130 to 145 income, but you can only change it by 10. So it would probably be like 130 or 140% income keeps the game like, keeps it interesting, should I say, rather than just being a cakewalk.
Well, I'm still learning it. D-Day definitely wasn't a cakewalk for me, but I was quite tenacious in my efforts, shall we say.
Like I say, it's once you learn, like, there's loads of hidden mechanics. That's the thing about it. Like the suppressive fire and like recently the anti-tank got a full rework. Like now they can support fire on an anti-tank if it's adjacent to like any like units. So if there's a Tiger, a normal like infantry unit, and you've got anti-tank behind it, the anti-tank can support fire. Which is, to be honest, it's a godsend, considering how hard tanks can end up being on planes.
Yeah, no. Well, look, there goes another unit. It's all happening.
And you find out that eventually you start to I don't know how the AI works, but it kind of, I know it doesn't learn, but it feels like it's learning when I play, like in one thing, because they try to shove everything into one area, and then when it's not working, the engineer disappears. Then before you know it, you got tigers coming around the back of you, and I'm just like, oh god, what have I done? So you got to retreat to like a defensive line and stuff.
I have noticed it doesn't always do predictable tactics, which is good, because you don't want that really with your AI, do you?
Yeah.
So
but there's something I use a lot is the paint. You know, in the top left where you can paint the map.
yeah,
And I use that to draw up defensive lines. I had a massive Belgium game where I took over Germany as Belgium. That was a hard campaign. Because the French are coded to play defensively, so they don't attack.
right.
So they try to fall. But I pumped so much money in as Belgium to keep Denmark alive. Denmark, Luxembourg, you know, all them, the Low Countries and France.
Yeah.
And like for the first 40 turns, it was a struggle, and then eventually it got to the point where I was able to push up.
My dad was in the Danish resistance in World War II.
All right.
Yeah. So him and his three brothers, they were all like around the ages of, I think the oldest one was 16 or 17. He hung himself after the war from some of the shit that he saw.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the full story, but I know it was something to do with something that happened in the war. So he died. The oldest brother died pretty soon after the war. Then there were twins, which was my dad and his brother, and then there was another brother just older than them, who was like the middle brother, and all of them were accomplished fishermen. They all knew how to sail, so they used to smuggle downed British airmen, and then they'd smuggle them over to Sweden, and they had a couple of different places where they did it, and the Germans only patrolled the part of the sea that was narrowest, because that's where they thought people would go, and they used to take them up via a much longer route to avoid the German Navy. And and he said that they used to like smuggle them, hide them from the SS when the SS would come into the town.
Oh wow.
Searching for them and stuff. And you know, if you were caught hiding them, you'd be shot. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So it was you know, it was a pretty. No, my dad would say it was a pretty terrifying time. But they right after the war, him and his then girlfriend, who was the girl he was with before my mother, they saved up money and they travelled across the Sahara. They hitched a ride with the French Foreign Legion convoy. They hitched down through Germany. They went through Berlin. Dad took. I've got photographs of like Berlin, like right after the war, and it's devastated. And he then worked on a boat that took him over to took him from the Rock of Gibraltar over to Tangier, I think it was. And from there, he hitched a ride with this French Foreign Legion supply convoy. It's amazing. And I've got the pictures. I've got all the photographs of that trip that he took. Quite incredible. And
magic story that.
Yeah. I keep meaning to sort of get it narrated and put it up on YouTube as a sort of montage of his efforts, you know. But
I don't know if I'm just watching. I don't know if the anti-tank infantry support fire units in front of them if they're against a tank.
I don't know. It's funny because they can be very effective on occasions, and it all depends on the status of the tank that's been attacking you, I think, and how exhausted it is. And then if you catch it in like an urban area with one of these, they can do a big chunk of damage.
Because the thing with playing defensive is entrenchment is everything, which is why artillery is is always going to be strong.
Yeah.
Like the thing in this game is, I would say air and artillery are the two main culprits of games getting out of hand.
Right. Yeah, I can believe that. Let's go back on that. Get him to there.
Because one time where I had about like 60% of my units are all anti-air, because Germany kind of, for some reason, went AWOL with the Air Force and all that, and ended up building loads of level bombers to destroy my infrastructure. I'm just like, oh yeah, I can't build anything. I can't build these. I can't build my units. I can't build a defensive line or anything. I was just like, yeah, this game's over. But it's what I get for playing on 300% income.
Well, yeah, most people wouldn't put themselves through that level of difficulty. I certainly wouldn't. But if you're that skilled in the game and you've been playing it, and that's what's giving you a challenge, then why not?
Yeah,
all the more gratifying when you win, I suppose.
Yeah, but I find what I usually do in games, like my strategy is usually have like heavy infantry up front, a little bit anti-tank, artillery behind it, engineers on the sides with light infantry to go, to flank round with light infantry, because they're dead cheap, they're expendable, so you can if a light infantry dies, you're not really bothered. Whereas if a tiger dies, it's like devastating.
Yeah, it costs a lot more money and takes a lot longer to build. So, the Germans have actually lost, I think, probably 5 or 6 armor counters in this game, and the maximum then they're allowed to have in Arnhem is 12. And I never had all 12 on the board because I lost a couple already. So,
I think anti-tank armor works as, if you put it behind a unit, it works the same as anti-tank as well.
Right.
So I think it's like, the Stugs, the Jag Panther and stuff like that. I think they work the same as anti-tank guns.
Oh, it's not looking good for the British now. Lots of overruns occurring.
They went at the villages.
Yeah, so they've lost lots of units this turn. Lots. Is that out of ammo? Let's refund that.
Yeah, because that's something I do is, if you're all right on the money, in the order of battle, you can set it so everything auto supplies but doesn't reinforce, if that makes sense. So you don't lose your turn. So as soon as your turn starts or ends, all your units that can resupply can. And then if you're running out of money, what you can do is you can just tick off the ones you don't want to auto supply. So usually like light infantry, you would do that yourself, but for like artillery, it's handy. Like your crack units, so like SS or like Tiger 2s and stuff. Right. My favorite, what's it? The Morsa. I enjoy the Morsa tiles. They're fun to use for artillery. And what was it? The Hummel. Love using those as well.
Yeah, there's been lots of Hummels in this game. The Germans have lost 2 of them, I think. Yeah. Because the problem is the artillery ranges in this are completely inaccurate. So, for example, this one would be able to hit these guys from at least over here. He'd have a range of about 5 to 6 hexes. A Hummel would have probably 7 to 8. These are very high caliber. I mean, the range of Moaning Minis is very short, so that'd be 2 hexes top. But these would have a range of about 5 hexes at this scale. Because this is company scale, one counter is roughly around 300 guys. So, so the artillery ranges in this are bollocks. But I'm not going to go in and change them all because I will wait until Valentine has done like a company setting switch where you'll do something on the game, and it will scale everything down, and it will scale the movements up, and it will scale the ranges and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a lot of legwork, but I'm sure he'll get around to doing it at some point. I certainly will be heavily advising him of that. But I love this game. I went on about it so much in the miniatures group I was in on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
They told me to stop talking about it because it's for miniatures only, and I was like, all right, okay. Well, I can talk about my toy soldiers as well. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
I think the greatest campaign I had was I was playing Romania,
right,
and I waited until Germany attacked Russia, and I helped with Greece and all that. I attacked Turkey to try to get round, to the Caucasus.
right,
That went somewhat successful. But what I'd done is I played a Hummel Romania in a multiplayer game, and the Russian player was like, "This isn't fair. You shouldn't be using Hummels." I went, what did I say? I went, "Oh, I got sponsored by Germany, so I could use all his Hummel tanks."
right.
So I ended up buying all the Hummel tanks off Germany. I was like, "Yeah, this is just like disgusting." I love it because you got your movement speed and you attack after rather than your normal artillery.
Yeah,
Because the thing is, it's got to the point where I played the game so much that I've learned all the exploits, and I try not to use the exploits now.
yeah.
It's not exploit; it's more of just like tricks you can do, like
I think,
understanding how certain tiles work.
oh, yeah, what I would call sort of gamey tactics.
Yeah,
I think this might be the British last turn. So I feel like they've got to go down fighting. That's not good. No good, is it? Oh, he's out of ammo. Let's sort him out.
but the
There.
thing with artillery is I always take special care of my artillery, so I always make sure, because you've got like one range artillery, 2, and then 3 range artillery.
Right.
And I always stick between 2 and 3, and the 3 would stay behind the 2 range if I'm playing like super defensively, like where you are now.
Sure.
And I would attack, move back, and then eventually attrition the enemies. But the problem is the Germans have so much units against.
Well,
it's not even anymore. It's got to the point where
historically, this is how it was. They probably didn't have quite as much as this at this point. But these artillery pieces that they have here are the ones they had in the actual battle. I had one more that got destroyed a bit carelessly. So the fact that I managed to hang on to all of these, and they've been all over the battlefield. I had one at Arnhem Bridge. That's the one that got taken out, and another one got taken out on the road. So there were 6 in total. But
because if I was playing here, I would say the left is a massive threat compared to the east and the north, apart from the Tiger.
Right.
I would say like the Tiger and is it the Stugs you've got out? I can't remember.
Pretty
but
much.
like the Tiger and the Stugs in that whole massive artillery line on the left, that would just scare me to bits. Because I know how strong artillery can get eventually. Because the problem with artillery is the reduced entrenchment, or the good thing, should I say, which reduces the effectiveness of units that have been stood still on like towns and fortifications, which renders infantry useless against armor, which is essentially what you're doing now.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to get maximum attacks on. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those there. Yeah, pushed me back there. He took one of the units out because these jumped in to defend it. So
that's a good thing about artillery. It's offensive
indeed.
and defensive.
Oh, is this guy out of petrol? Yeah, he is. Okay.
Yeah, the morale's low as well on a couple of the British.
Well, unsurprising. They've been fighting non-stop for God knows how many days,
Yeah.
especially with this system, which thinks it's actually even more days than the reality. So that they would all be completely exhausted at this point. Move this up here so I can get something else. Let's bring this down. They haven't got enough infantry this side.
Yeah. That's a fit. Another thing about tanks is you can use them as like obviously you can use them as flanking and brute force, but as a front line they work until like pack. You know when the packs come in.
Yeah.
And well, if you're playing against Britain, should I say? Oh, is it? No, they use pounders. It's the packs. So if you're playing the British, you know the Germans can use tanks as a front line to defend the things until the pack anti-tank come in, which it does very often.
Oh, there goes
Because you
another
sit
one.
there with a couple of Churchills and you're just like, oh no. They've got a pack 43 on the road, like proper late in the late years, and I'm just like, what am I going to do here?
Got to okay, it's all happening. Yeah, this is
because when I play multiplayer, I usually play like co-op games where you work together.
Oh yeah, co-op. Yeah,
it's very interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That would be a good one,
especially Africa. Because what you can do is one of the North African campaigns, the Germans can't produce as much. So
right.
you're pushing what do you call it? You're pushing like Al Alamein and all that.
Yeah.
So you're pushing the Germans and the Italians, but you've got your the Navy, and you've got your you play the what was it? The Australians, New Zealand, and Australia, I think. And someone plays the British and someone plays the Australians.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the Australians don't get as much, but that's where because I like playing minor nations. So I like playing.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Whoever's not the.
When I do my first big game, I'm definitely going to play Germany. I'm going to play Germany. I'm not going to attack Russia. I'm going to have non-historical settings on, so that Russia doesn't attack me at a specified time. I'm not going to attack this guy because I forgot to move him. So we're going to pretend that these guys. This one's got lost and gone down here. That's a bit of an unfair. This guy was with 4 units defending these landing zones up here, and they waited until that batch of reinforcements arrived, and then they've been fighting, doing a fighting withdrawal ever since. And 5 of the 5 counters made it back into the perimeter from that thing, so they did quite well. But then the last landing lot that came in, they came in here as the Tiger tank was driving across this. All 3 of them got killed. So over the course of a couple of turns, they just all got mashed up because it coincided with all the Germans arriving and overrunning that bit. So it's almost over for the British now. Might get.
I'd be down for like one day. Like if you're playing Germany or something, I could play like Hungary or I'll play one of the. Is it the Baltics? No, what's? I keep forgetting.
You could play Italy.
Yeah, I'll play Italy. Oh, I've got to deal with North Africa. That'll be fun. Oh God.
Oh, don't worry. Germany will send you the Africa Corps. So you'll have some decent soldiers who don't surrender every 5 minutes. The Italian soldiers in the main, they didn't really want to fight. Fascism seemed like a good idea when it was going to be easy and Hitler was destroying everything. As soon as it became hard, the Italians were like, don't think we're up for this.
So like Yugoslavia's in Europe 39, Yugoslavia is it's somewhat a cakewalk, and then Greece is less so if you don't have like infantry that have the mountaineer bonus. It can become a little bit of a problem. Africa is just it's Africa. It's mental. You just run out of supplies too quick, and you got to put supply depots down all over the place. But yeah, Italy would be sounds fun. What you can do now is in the policies. I don't know if you've got yours available. Just to be able to show you.
We can have a. Well, this is nearly done, so we can have a look at that in just a sec.
Because he's changed a lot of the policies and added a lot so you can have the game that you want. So you could have Human Wave where your units don't surrender.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen those options.
So that's like you could play Human Wave Germany if you wanted, or Blitzkrieg, Blitzkrieg Britain.
Human Wave is more of a Japanese, Russian thing.
Oh, another thing is on the Japanese. Which one is it? I think it starts in 41. You got 36, and then you got 39 and 4. I think it's 39 or 41. Like it's like the main one, like you 39 is the main German, the main huge campaign, scenario. Japan's got one, and Japan have. I think the units don't retreat anyway. It's like a passive to have. I think it's the same with what's Russia's? No, Finland automatically get winter attrition, so they don't lose. When it comes winter, they don't lose. What do you call it? They don't take winter damage, so you don't need to buy that policy. And the good thing with Finland is because it's in the Northern Hemisphere, quite recently actually, in the last month, he's changed it where, all the lakes freeze over, so you can send lights, so you can send infantry over and light artillery and all that.
Yeah, they did though. Well, they did that. That would be another side you could play. You could play Finland,
Yeah, and they've changed it so if you put like a tiger on the ice on the frozen river, they take extra damage because of it being
a tiger would never make it across the frozen river.
Exactly. So they've made it so you can both Russia and Finland can flank the enemy with light units and light artillery, but it's really interesting. It's hard to play as Finland. I haven't attempted to do a 300% income challenge on that because it's hard. It's hard as it is.
There's a few films you can watch about the Russian-Finnish war because the Russians tried to take out Finland in the war early and they got their asses kicked.
Yeah.
But obviously they had numerical superiority, but that was it. Oh yeah, let's do that.
I think as soon as after the simple key point is Stalingrad, really. As soon as the Sixth Army surrendered, everything went downhill for the Axis.
That was the
everything went downhill.
That was the first major defeat for Germany in the war, and they tried to propagandize it. They tried to they did like a fake radio signal saying this is Stalingrad on like New Year's Eve or something, but it was
even though it's not even though it's not historical. Enemy at the Gates. That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Have you seen the German film Stalingrad that came out?
Yes, I've seen that one as well.
Yeah, that's.
I was sitting around the campfire with the
Do you know what I might do? A Stalingrad edit, and because there's 2 Russian films on Stalingrad as well, and I might do like a Bridge Too Far Stalingrad edit. That'd be a good fan film to make. That'd be a lot of fun to do that because I'm going to do one about Pearl Harbor as well. I'm going to edit all the good scenes out of the crap Pearl Harbor movie and edit them into Tora Tora Tora. So that'd be a lot of fun. I think.
Have you used that draw mechanic yet?
Not sure.
It's pretty fun.
Well, I think
you see on the top of your screen where that little pen is?
Underneath
objectives.
Oh yeah, this thing.
Yeah, I use that a lot now. He's added it quite recently. So you can draw like like a little banana kind of thing. Like just put one line, and you can put
Yeah.
like defensive lines. I use that. I use that a lot in Belgium because of all the rivers and all the points where you can it stops and put 4 lines, and it became very very. It was like 60 turns, I think, was a grind, and I just had to use that a lot, especially next to Luxembourg and the French, because I had to help the French out.
Right.
And it was really interesting.
Hang on. How do I close this menu now with this pen?
You just press the eraser again,
Yeah.
and then press it
How
again.
how do I close this so I can click on units again?
And then you just press the eraser again. You got to press it twice.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I think this is pretty much all over now. Oh, look, we took out a German. Hey. Yeah. Oh man, what a crappy defeat for England the other day. That was depressing, man. Like to get
I didn't know why they didn't take Kane off after 30 minutes. Honestly.
Well, yeah. It was.
Palmer should have came on way earlier. It could have easily went 2-2.
Oh, I mean, that double save that they did. I mean, Spain did play really well. Got to give it to them.
Yeah, but you got to remember they won 6 games beforehand in a row. You know what I mean? So the chances were they're going to win 7.
Yeah, they were doing pretty well, weren't they?
Well, I think
the last time.
What was it? There was a thing I said. I can't remember what I said to my mate. Oh yeah, it was you had 3 Lions, 3 headers in one goal, and all 3 were misses. And like all 3 got saved. I went, that's just the epitome of just England and England in international matches.
Sadly, but true indeed.
When I was watching, as soon as I watched them 3 headers, I went, "Yeah, we've kind of lost this." I went, "If they can't 3 headers in like a space of 5 seconds."
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
I'm just upset we don't get a national holiday.
Yeah, that would have been good. I'm not sure how. I'm not 100% convinced that would have been properly implemented, but it was a nice suggestion.
National We Win Football Internationally Day.
Yeah, is that what it was going to be called?
I don't know. It would be something like that. What would it be called? Euro Day.
Euro Day. That sounds like the invasion of Normandy. Sounds like the day that we lost the vote to Brexit. There goes another one.
It's coming home day. That's probably what it would be.
That would have
coming home day.
Yeah, that would have been a good title, or it came home day. Yeah, because it would have been home technically. So
they're the only country now, aren't they? Spain. They've won. They're the only country that won it 4 times in a row, or 4 times, should I say? Not in a row.
I don't know. Have they won?
They're the only one to lift the cup 4 times.
They've won it 4 times. Anyhow. So, where you come from up round there, do people call each other Mara?
No.
You've not heard that before?
No.
I think that's particular to a certain area of the north, and it's a relatively small area. And because I used to play Xbox Live a lot, and we used to do zombies. That was the big thing. We used to call of Duty zombies.
That's what I used to do a lot.
There was a group of us that all used to meet up online, right? And we would do these marathon sessions where we do one of those maps, and we had tactics for each map. And
Yeah.
I developed this amazing tactic called the runaround for this map called Derice, which was always the best map.
Oh, yeah, the reset.
Yeah, when they started making the maps like too complicated, like Moon, and they just started making them overly complex. That's when we started losing interest, to be honest. But
I remember the original one on World at War when it first came out, where
yeah,
you had
yeah,
the downstairs and you had to open the stairs.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to glitch on top of the stairs, so they couldn't get you. But you ran out of ammo, so you had to jump down eventually.
Yeah, and they changed that with a patch, and then also they changed it with a patch where the zombies were like more powerful, more of them spawned per turn, and which I wish they hadn't done. But we got up to something like on the Derice map, we got up to something like level 75.
Yeah.
And because what we used to do was we would start on the bridge. We would have one person at each window. You wouldn't open that door at the top of the stairs. And then so you'd have one person at each window, one person watching the back, one person watching the bridge, but the person on the back would and it was the person on the bridge who would always call jump. And when we go drop, we all dropped down. Then we would run up to what we called the gantry, which was by that top teleporter, that kind of that ledge at the top of the stairs. And then we would all defend there for a bit. And then when that got too hot, we would drop, or go to the teleporter. And then we would teleport back to the main teleporter, maybe do a packet punch or two, and then do the run around back to the bridge again, and then defend the bridge again and start the bridge. And every time we would try and start the bridge, because we found that if we stayed in one place, you get killed faster. But if you stayed in one place for as long as you could, but then you had an escape route when you wanted to run, that was our tactic basically. And
I remember when it used to just be like even Pack-a-Punch didn't exist. It was just the mystery box, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
the wall purchases, and then it was just the rear gun. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's overpowered." I say it's not. LMGs were, because of the amount of bullets you could use in one. You know what I mean? And more often than not, the rear gun killed yourself.
Yeah,
that happened more often than.
That was the problem with the ray gun. It was like if you fired it too close to the wall, you blew yourself up.
I mean, even now, if you got Juggernaut, it's like 4 times hitting enemies, literally point blank, you're dead. It's just like, oh no.
Yeah, it was. That was a pretty. We had some really like massively long, super intense games with that.
I remember getting. Oh, what was it? We got to 130. I think we came second on the leaderboard at one time. You know, the one where. It was the Oval Office.
Oh yeah, that was with the lifts. That was a good.
Yeah, we got up to 116, but then all of us were running around, and then we ended up in the same place. And because the zombies were chasing each other, we all went down within like a space of half a second each.
Right.
I was like, I'm down. And I was like, oh well, I've lost. Like, no. I think we were 9 waves away from being first on the leaderboard, and I think after that I stopped playing. I was like, oh no.
There's actually a couple of people watching right now, so surprisingly. So if you're watching, this is my map of Arnhem, which I'm playtesting, and this is the end of the battle because the Germans are about to overwhelm the British that are at Oosterbeek. When I've done the new map and done it all properly, there'll actually be a way that they can evacuate if they can manage to hang on to this ferry section here. But I'm pretty sure that it's all going to finish on this turn right now.
Bring on the Tigers.
We'll see. I'm just going to fire all this artillery first. You a bit burpy, Dan?
Yeah, I've had a couple of oranges, I think.
A couple of oranges. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's healthy for you. Can't beat a bit of vitamin C. I
used to love like grapes and bananas, but then I've went off bananas. Now it's just mainly you know, easy peelers. It's just their map.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you get heartburn if you have too many. So I'm just like, oh no.
Oh, there is that. Yeah, it's all happening. Do you remember in the original Panzer General, artillery
Yeah.
as a unit alone could not capture enemy hexes? So
Yeah. I remember that.
yeah, it was a quirky rule, but I got why, because artillery units were not designed to capture and hold particular things. But I was this guy out of ammo. Okay. Quickly remedy that. Can hear my neighbour upstairs pottering about, so hopefully I'm not keeping them awake. But they know I keep very strange hours. So.
Yeah.
Did you catch the interview on my channel yesterday?
No.
I was interviewing Milana Jackson, who's one of the cast from How to Get Away with Murder, and she was also in Strike Back season 3.
Have you ever watched that? How to Get Away with Murder?
Well, she was only due to come on for about an hour. She stayed on the interview with me for 2.5 hours, and
Wow.
she was amazing. She was such an amazing guest, so nice. But we really just it was like we were two mates down the pub talking, you know.
They've lost the general.
Yeah, it's all over for the British. This is going to be the last turn. I'm going to call it here anyway. I'm just going through the motions now, really. But yeah, so it was one of the best interviews I've ever done, actually. Really enjoyable as well, and I seem to have a bit of a knack for doing it. So well, we've come this far, we might as well.
I was going to say you'll get. I was going to say you'll get like a summary at the end if you defeat them 3, maybe.
It's all over. It's all over for the British now. Now this is okay. This is turn 34, so 4 7s are 28. So this would be 5 7s are 35. So this would be towards the end of the 5th day. So it would be 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd of September. They hung on in Oosterbeek until the 25th. So the defeat is slightly faster than it came historically. But then there was a lot of things I didn't do correctly.
Yeah, like paratroopers, for example, you didn't get them to help and stuff.
Yeah. So it was, yeah. Well, all they can really do is they can't even heal themselves now, can they? Because they've got no supply source.
Yeah,
they've got nothing. So
I think you can't. Can you heal when you're next to the adjacent unit? I can't remember. I think you can't heal when you're next to the adjacent unit, or they take 50%.
You've also got to be able to
have supply as well.
I think track to a victory hex or something.
Because villagers know gives you a certain amount of supply, which you can use to supply a certain amount, and because they were kind of surrounded with not on top of any villages and all that, it was kind of over. Oh, anti-tank left.
I think that's it, isn't it? They're all dead. That is the end.
Oh, there's one unit top left.
Oh God, I forgot about that guy.
That's why the game died.
This guy that's been running around. I completely forgot about him. Hang on, he can get there, can't he? Go there. Oh, that's it. So that's it. Game over. No, so that's that. But that's the end of the game. I mean, it's not ending because I could, in theory, purchase more units. So the British have been defeated. There we are, and the Polish never even got in the game. All right, so I'm gonna come up here.
I think that's why, because you got 3 units in the bottom left. That's why you didn't get the victory screen.
Yeah.
Because you can set it to objectives, if you destroy everything or have a certain amount of the victory points.
So let's look at that now. Actually, so this is the. You can see I've actually got the artwork behind it now.
Ah.
Yeah, it was pretty close, my map. To it, there are some differences, but not enough for me to want to change it.
That's close too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I got the landing zones almost completely spot on. This one shouldn't really be in the game, so I'm going to remove that one. Yeah, so I've got to remember how to. Which key is it? Oh, that's the one to fade it out, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's added the creation time at the bottom of the screen to show you how long you've been creating the map.
Yeah, well, actually, that was automatically there. So one way to put the ferry in would be to create a river hex and do something like if we put that there. That's a bit shit though. That looks terrible. That's no good. I mean, I just worry that that's going to let people kind of cross it willy-nilly a bit.
Well, if you got engineers, nothing can go over rivers unless you got
unless you got engineers.
Pontoon or engineers on that point.
Right. Okay. So
you could use a river, or you could make the ferry into a harbour. That's the two options, really.
Let's have a look at maybe doing that. So I could do this instead. Turn that into a harbour. I would actually want to do that. So that looks a bit.
It might have worked with the ferry. You know, if you change it on the ferry.
Yeah. Hold on a
second. The ferry hex.
Let me alter this a bit. You've got a strange feedback on your mic when I talk. For some reason.
Is it?
Yeah, that's my mumbling voice that I can hear in the background. Yeah, actually, you're right about that. Let's do that. Hold on. Let's make that marsh. Now I've got this weird thing here. No.
I think the coastline updates when you reload in anyway.
Right.
To fit with whatever, like the side, like whatever the coastline is anyway.
So maybe what we could do is now. Okay, so with that being a harbour, what does that mean when a unit lands on it?
So anything that's on the ferry can change to a landing craft, which means they can go to the other side and then disembark.
Right.
So all you would do is you would just put a limit. You would just make a rule, just saying you're not able to disembark until a certain day. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So if I go into here, select German, quit. What I want to do is I want to buy. Don't know why it didn't save before, but it didn't. I'm going to buy a pontoon bridge, and I want to deploy that, and that needs to go about here, and then save the map. So I want to.
I don't think. Wait, maybe you can. I'm actually not quite sure.
You don't know.
I don't know if you can use. Yeah, I don't know if you can use pontoon bridges on the coastline.
What technically is a sea? Well, we can find out, can't we?
Yeah.
We can do a play test with it, and that's the whole point of.
You could just stick a unit on one side and then see if it crosses.
Yeah, how do I get back to the map features again? I don't want to accidentally click on change biome.
Try pressing, next to the creation time, the one with the tank. There's an arrow.
What am I doing?
The deploy units.
Oh, right, there we go. Yeah, you're right. So, let's just do, we want, where is it? It never seems to have all of the roads that you want, which is annoying. So, for example,
Thing is, he's
I want this
added
one.
quite a lot.
Yeah, but because that doesn't work. Exactly.
There's definitely one for that. Try number 16. No, that's not that.
Doesn't really.
So what is it? So it's the south and the northeast of the X, leading to the southeast.
You actually need two off. You need two off of here, don't you?
Yeah.
So you need one like road 7, but with an extra road coming off of it. So there isn't one of them at the moment. Could do that one. Actually, I prefer the one I have.
It still works the same as long as the road is next to another road. It works the same regardless if it's connected. It's just
in terms of movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
I obviously quite like to get it as aesthetically pleasing as.
Yeah, that's what I do all the time.
So one of the other things that's got to go is. Let me one of the other things that's got to go is the drop zone at the top. So this northeast thing that's got to go. So what I do is get some trees. Now, how can I take that? How can I take that victory marker off of there?
So if you hold, I think you would have to come off the tiles first, because if you hold onto it, if you click it.
Oh yeah, here we go.
And then you press the bottom one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? I remember now.
Because you've got primary, secondary, and then tertiary VPs.
Yeah.
So the gold are like, you need to capture this. And the others like, oh yeah, it's a secondary, which is usually used for like total victories, for example.
Yeah.
So if you play in Poland, you get all the ones on the east side of Poland, and then you get a total victory, and it takes you to a different map rather than a partial victory.
Yeah. Just checking. Looks like I got most of the roads correct, more or less. Yes, there probably should be. Probably be a road connecting these two. Somewhere around here, so I'll put that in. Is that your phone vibrating?
Yeah. Apparently my battery's low.
Oh, I thought you were getting a text from some random girl at silly o'clock in the morning.
4:45 in the morning.
Oh, you never know, man. People get booty calls at strange times.
Been 9, 10 o'clock.
A couple of those in my lifetime. Right. That's
yeah, I was going to say there's road and change crossings.
want that one. That's the one. And then, so we're just going to link this up. You don't have a crossroads, do you? There's only got one crossroads, and it's this one, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah. So, but as you say, it still works as long as the roads are.
Yeah. Because it goes off by tile. So if a road is next to another road, it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because it goes off the whatever the tile is.
Yeah. No,
Rather than what's next.
Need to tree this up a bit so that it's not a natural advantage there. Put that one in there. I think that's probably everything I wanted to change.
Another thing you end up using quite a lot in normal games is the not fortifications, the dragon's teeth.
Yeah.
And roadblocks, you end up using them a lot because I was in the stream when I first started playing the game. I went, you should add dragon's teeth into the game, so you end up adding them.
Right.
And what was it? Dragon's teeth and what's it called? Hedgehog. That's it.
Well, there wasn't a lot of dragon's teeth at Arnhem. But this is interesting. So I'm just trying to come to where I've got these drop zone. These are correct here. This is correct enough. If anything, it wasn't that far. My map's not quite aligned anyway.
Yeah.
Scale.
I don't know if there's a. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a way to move the overlay. It's just I wouldn't know how to do it.
Oh no! I know how to, mate. I've done all that now. I had a crash course on that today. So
Nice.
they're moving the overlays like this, and I forget. Shrinking it is. Forget which one. The shrinking and enlarging it. I forget the keys. Oh, it was these two, wasn't it? Yeah, that makes it smaller. This makes it bigger. Very subtly. But I worked. What I did was I lined up the bridge with my bridge, which gave me a kind of relatively accurate impression of where everything was. So, but I think one of the things that I need to do, just check that again. Yes, there should be a slightly more urban stuff here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add a few bits in here to do that. That's the train station. Let's do that.
You'll be able. Can you? No, I can't remember.
That's fine.
There might be one for the bite of the left of where is it called? Westerville, is it? I think there's one where you can change. See where that crossroad is. Yeah, left and then up from there. There's one where there's a crossroad. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I think there's a road for that.
Let's have a look. This one.
Which one? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it looks a bit nicer, doesn't it? Okay, just add one up here. I think that's sufficient. So
same with the brickworks underneath the brickworks.
Yeah.
Across the river. You could just use one where it just goes up.
Yeah, I kind of like that, but I suppose I could. Well, I mean, I could do that. Yeah, actually, looks better. All right.
It's looking good.
Yeah. I don't think I need to change anything else with this. I know how to add events onto it. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to check with you, if anything. Before I head off to bed, it's 10 to 4 now, man, so I'm going to crack out soon. Blue Collar, look, this is one of my regular YouTubers. Hey, you still up? I just woke up coughing for 5 minutes straight. Now I'm in my car with a bag of cough drop. There's a Phoenix who's a vet. He's a nice guy. He does my Lone Wolf read-throughs with me. I haven't done one of them for ages, but I'm planning on doing them. That's like a choose your own adventure book. Do you remember them?
Oh yeah.
I do.
Is that where it goes? Turn to page 64.
Yeah, exactly. I do playthroughs of those live online. So yeah, these are the British forces as they stand at the minute. But I'm gonna re-equip all of these. Give the fast moving infantry units half tracks and things like that.
Yeah.
So, but now I should have. If we go to and we switch to Poland, you can see that if I go here, I've now got Polish paratroopers. Look, there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a proper ball ache sorting that out, but I did those with the German guy today, so was able to fix that. Yeah, so my truck is filled with delicious germs. Yeah, because he's an Uber driver, so he's kind of fighting off this horrendous cold at the moment.
Oh dear.
And what's this? Maluna sent me. This is something from Ethan Hawke. Yeah, you want to watch that interview. It's really, if you have insomnia, go on my if you go on my YouTube channel, just go and look at the industry interviews.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll watch that one. There's loads that are really good. Some of them will be with people that you don't know, but some of them will be with people you recognise from being on the telly, stuff like that. So I've got to I've got to upload a new intro for my channel Tuesday night thing. Yeah, we had a new on Tuesday night. I do this thing called the Nielsen ratings.
Oh yeah.
And I basically got a panel of other YouTube collaborators. There's about 4 of us, and we
that's cool.
We basically review films and movies. Sometimes it's stuff that's just come out, but we always plug a couple of older films like every week. I'm doing a special on the movie Battle of Britain in September.
Ooh,
so
enjoy that.
And then we're doing like a deep dive on Spartacus, which is going to be good. So, what?
See, that's what it's for me. It's like World War II, mainly, and then like ancient history, so like Roman Empire, Alexander the Great, all that stuff. Ptolemies. That's what I love.
Right. Can you just do me a favour, right? I'm going to send you a link. Can you tell me if you can watch this video? I think it might have been blocked. Hold on, I'll
Will
put it in. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat here. Tell me if you can see it. They better not have blocked it, man. It's like one of the
I'll
best
be 2 seconds.
ever done. Yeah.
No, it works. Malona Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, good. I think they're just gonna not let me. I can't monetize it. That's fine. But they take the piss, man. Honestly, these people. Because
you know
like,
you can use. Yeah.
because if you're gonna have a guest on, and you're gonna talk about that guest's films, you should be allowed to show clips of their show reel, you know, if they're an actress, because that's what we did. We showed clips of her show reel.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
I've already edited out 3 clips that we showed. So,
but isn't it you gotta get like, what's it called? You gotta get permission. You know where you see on the bottom it says courtesy of blah blah blah.
yeah,
Like Thingy Studios or something.
yeah, but I mean, actors are allowed to. That's how they make their living. They've got to be able to show their show reels to people.
Surely.
Do you know this guy? Is he one of the Hex of Steel guys? Nightmare Watcher
I'm
9000.
not quite sure. Unless he's got a different name on Discord.
Right. Difficult to know. Right, I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna end the live stream. Okay.